Jenny Claffey is with us. Good morning to you, Jenny. TV star Jenny Claffey.
I've moved up in the world now.
So you're part of the TG4's Underdogs. It's soccer this time.
Yeah, so the Underdogs is traditionally done through the GAA, so with hurling, camogie or football. And because of the Women's World Cup this year, they decided to change the goalposts and they're doing it with women's soccer.
And so how did you hear about it?
I saw it online actually, like on Instagram being advertised, and then it went around in my own football club's WhatsApp group in Terranure, and a few of the girls kind of said, oh, they might give it a go. So I was like, sure, why not? I don't love it. If anyone likes a challenge, it's me.
You're not competitive at all, Jenny.
Not at all. Wait till you see. Oh yeah.
So for newcomers, you were a tennis professional, career ended by injury.
Yes.
And how long ago did that happen? What was the gap between finishing playing tennis and then taking up soccer?
So I played on the Pro Tour in 2015 and a little bit of 2016. So my career ended then, kind of started 2017. Then I joined the Irish Rugby Sevens team in 2018. That was short-lived due to 5 bone breaks in 6 months. And then I retired as a professional athlete in 2018 and took up soccer in 2021.
And had you played soccer as a kid?
No, like I've got 4 older brothers, so
Right.
I just thought I kicked around the ball out in the field and just liked football. And the reason I took it up was just because after COVID, that first break of COVID in 2020, I was like, I just need something more than work, because all we were able to do was go to work. Like, you weren't able to do much. And I thought, well, outdoor, it's football, it's a run around. So I gave it a go. And then now here I am at the Underdogs.
Right. And work is tennis coaching.
Yes, yeah, tennis coaching. Yeah.
I didn't actually know about the Rugby Sevens. I actually missed that part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Did everybody know that? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
What bone breaks? What happened? Was it like...
Oh, gosh. So I'd never played rugby before. Was never conditioned to, obviously, tackling and whatnot. But after my tennis career ended, I thought I wasn't ready to give up the Olympic dream. So I heard that the Rugby Sevens had a chance qualifying for the Tokyo. So I thought, sure, why not? Like, shift into a different sport altogether. I was scouted for that, so joined them, the Irish setup. And the first week I broke my nose in a tackle because I didn't know how to tackle. So that was a shock to the system. And then I broke a toe, broke my 2 fingers, and then I had a pretty serious break in my foot that ended up requiring surgery. Yeah,
That'll do it. Yeah,
that was the end for me as a professional athlete.
When they were scouting you, what was it about your athletic profile? Were you fast? Was it strength? Was it?
I think, yeah, it was scouted as such. Like, somebody said that they thought they knew someone in sevens. They thought I had the perfect physique. They'd seen me training in the gym for a long time, like for a couple of months. And then I met the assistant coach, and he said, yeah, you'd be the right fit. Kind of speed and power was what it was all about. And I'm a power athlete, so that's where I got. And when I transferred out to football, that's exactly what I have. Never mind the scale, but I have the speed and the power to knock people off the ball.
So, were you a power athlete as a tennis player?
Yeah, I would have been. Like, I'm tall, I'm strong. Power would have been how I played tennis. I had big serve, big forehand. So I would like to play at a very aggressive game. Moved quite well as well for being nearly 6 foot. But something I had to work on more was like that agility versus power.
Okay, that's interesting. And so, as a young player playing tennis, were you doing weights early on in your career to help the power, or was that something that kind of came after?
Yeah, so I had since I was as young as, I think, like maybe 13, 14, I remember lifting weights. Now, nothing crazy at that stage, but then really got into the gym, and I loved the gym. Like, maybe other tennis players weren't spending as much time in the gym, but I would have loved that aspect of the training, and possibly overdid it because I ended up with an elbow injury, and that could have been put down to wear and tear from too much heavy lifting, as well as obviously the repetitive strain from tennis. But I do think there was a combination of that, so that might have actually hindered my career.
Right, okay. And as a matter of interest, if you could go back now to yourself as a 13-year-old, would you play football? Like, would that be something that might take you away from tennis?
Do you know, that is a really good question, because since I've been playing football, I've really thought about being a part of a team. So being in a team sport, in hindsight, I think I'm much better suited to being in a team than an individual, as an individual athlete. You look back and you're like, I'm such an empath as a person. So like that killer instinct to want to absolutely just destroy the other person on the other half. Of course, I have the competitive instinct.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Are you sure about that?
Well, wait till you see me on the Underdogs. You might think otherwise. But I do have a fierce competitive side. But I just don't know that I had that absolute and utter killer instinct. But when you're in a team, you get away with it a little bit more, I think. Anyway, there's 11 players. It's not
somebody
just
else can
you.
do the killing. You can just set them up.
Yeah, I can do the
pick them up after. I'm really sorry about that. But,
that's it. But
it's our job.
A lot of the girls would even say that like I'm too nice on the pitch. If any of them are listening, they will agree with this. They'll say like if someone's going in for a tackle, I don't just run through them all the time, which I should more. I'm always afraid of maybe hurting myself more than other people. But
well, the broken bones.
I've had enough injuries to warrant that. But yeah, I look back and I think, being part of a team I love it. I love the fact that you vibe off other people. And if you're not having a great day, sometimes you can be still spurred on by your teammates, and they can get you out of that rut. But when you're on your own, it's very different. If you're having a bad day, you can often find excuses and blame other things. And, I'm not saying that I did that, but it's easier to do that.
It's human nature.
Yeah, so I look back and I wonder, would I have been better in a team, whether that would have been soccer. I definitely preferred the soccer to rugby anyway. I didn't like the physicality of the rugby. I love the speed and running, but I didn't like the tackling.
They cover that loneliness in tennis in Breakpoint, the Netflix documentary. And you've already spoken to us about that. On the football side of things, right, you took up the game 2.5 years ago. But you've won more trophies than most people that have played their whole life. Like every time I'm on your Instagram, it's a new trophy.
I just joined a very good team, It takes a village. We've had a lot of success. As I said, like I come from a sporting background. It's just another ball. But this time it's now at my feet, which is really, really different. Like I was explaining this to someone before, like tennis, or paddle or racket sports to me just seem to be seamless. Like I put a racket in my hand and I can play the sport. As we know, I only took paddle up last year and then I played for the Irish team this year, so very lucky in that sense. But I like the challenge of football. Like it's hard for me. Football is hard for me. Like I'm not good at it. Like so I like being the underdog as such on the team. Like, and it's very humbling not to be the best at something. Because, I've come from other sports where you've been the number one for a long time, and that sort of spurs me on to be better, that I always have to try to raise the bar and be better. And we've had a lot of success in Terenure. This year we won the Leinster Cup, the All-Ireland Cup and the league unbeaten. So we had a really, really good season. And if we had a stadium and I think enough finances, we would then be eligible to go up to the Women's National League. But because we don't, we can't.
Where in the park do you play?
Left wing.
Like it's interesting the point you make about the difference between being a competitive athlete and not being a killer, and that wanting to cause or not wanting to cause injury to yourself or to a competitor kind of feeds into that. Whereas by and large, tennis, you can't really inflict damage on your opponent unless you hit him in the head with the ball or something like that. So is there not kind of like a small contradiction there in terms of your own personality that actually you don't have to hurt this person in tennis, but you can still kill them, if that makes any sense? Is that not perfect for your personality that you just described?
Well, I guess like you can kill them from a distance, I can kill them with my shots as opposed to with my body, or like that brute force that you encounter, let's say in rugby or even in soccer in some tackles, like those leg breaker tackles, like whereas the tennis, they're a safe distance on the other side, so I can win and my competitive edge can still come out, but doesn't have to be that like I want to hurt this other person. If that, I know you're saying the contradiction, but it makes sense in my head that I want to win, but I don't like necessarily want to win at every cost of hurting somebody.
Okay.
I don't know if how that comes
across. There's also the emotional crushing.
The emotional crushing of an opponent.
Which is what you're...
So you wouldn't want... So say if you were hammering somebody in a game of tennis, would you begin to feel sorry for that person?
No, so then maybe I'm not explaining this very well. Do you know when people say like, oh, we're winning like 5-0 and I don't score any more goals? I'm like, what? Let's win. So it's the physical pain that I don't like.
Okay.
Versus...
you'd break their spirit but not their legs.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There, thanks, sir.
Break spirit, not legs. It should be like the tagline. The other thing you said there, which is very interesting, is being the best, and what that sort of difference, because tennis is such a fascinating industry where you get to the top of your game in the country and then internationally it just goes to a whole other level, I presume.
Yeah.
So how does your love for being the underdog I guess legislate for the fact that obviously you would have been an underdog because you're an Irish tennis player? Everybody who comes out of this country is an underdog in the tennis world.
So, like, as in, how does it compare to the tennis?
Yeah, like I'm sure you would, like if you enjoy being an underdog, you surely thrived in the idea that you were.
Yeah,
in
I love
tennis.
that in tennis. I love the fact that like you go out of Ireland and you're a nobody, because then it's only really you versus you in those situations, and you've nothing to try to, like, you have your reputation in Ireland, like, but it's a very small pond here. It's you versus you here. But when you go away, I really enjoyed the fact that nobody knows who you were. Like, I remember turning up my first tournament, and I'd never played internationally in singles. I played like Fed Cup as part of a team, and turning up and like no one knows who you are, and then you're really good and you do really well and nearly win the tournament. Like, I loved that, being that underdog. But that was more for myself. I think I enjoyed like that, proving to myself. And I think that's something over time and time again that even now it's like I love the fact that I can make myself proud and prove to myself that I'm good enough no matter what it is I do. And it's the effort and attitude that I apply to that I really, really enjoy.
Did you know much about the Underdogs?
No, I knew that it was on TG4, and I thought you had to speak Irish to get on it, so I wasn't too convinced I was going to get onto it. And I thought it was always GA, so when I saw the soccer, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
It was always GA, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I've never watched it before. Never knew what it was about. And then when a few of the girls had applied, I was like, I don't want to look back and see what it was, because it was more than just about the football and stuff, like the challenges and stuff they put you through, like the army, send you to the army camp and whatnot. I didn't want to know what we were facing.
So what's the premise of this year's one? So it all culminates in a game against Galway United, right?
Yeah, so on the 2nd December we're playing against Galway United, and the trials were held in June, and then they narrowed down the panel to around 35 girls, and then each month we've had a training camp where we've done obviously a combination of football and then some kind of other challenges and whatnot, and then people get eliminated until they then narrow down to the final squad, which is now at about 23 people.
Right.
And they're going to name, I think, the starting 11 pretty soon, and then you'll know whether you're on the match day.
2nd of December.
Yeah, but we'll find out before that, I think, if you're in the starting 11.
And what's the standard like?
Do you know, well, there's 9 players off my club on the Underdogs, and I'd say a good few of us would have a chance at maybe getting into that starting 11 or on the periphery anyway. So I mean, I'm playing at that kind of level week in, week out, and then there's some amazing players like who aren't even playing football at the moment, who maybe played as kids and come back and definitely could have got onto the Irish team or played Ireland underage. So seeing those girls in action, I'm like, geez, this is another level. So it is each week like forcing me to try to improve, and I'm getting out and practicing the wall, like practicing my skills, right foot, left foot, all that kind of stuff. You know, you'd imagine a kid doing now, just to make sure that I can try to solidify my place in the team.
It's got its reputation for being a great opportunity for Gaelic footballers, the likes of Pierce O'Leary and Kieran Donaghy, most famously, getting their break, I guess. I guess that opportunity is even greater for football, right? Because obviously it's an international game, and for women's football because it's more of a growing game than the men's sport, you could say at this point as well. So are you playing alongside people or trialling alongside people who you think to yourself, this is really going to be a rocket on the back of their career?
Yeah, like looking at some of the other girls in the squad, I'm thinking, like, is there motivation to get, seen or spotted by a women's national league team? For me, that's not the goal or the motivation. That would just be my ego that would enjoy that. But no, it's not the motivation for me. But there definitely are players there who are worthy of playing women's national league. Absolutely, probably majority of the starting 11 will be like. So I think we will put it up to Galway on the 2nd December. Like my club, as said, Ternier, have played against Cork City, we've played against DLR Waves, who are women's national league teams, and we've had some great games. So I'll be delighted to get the chance to play against another women's national league team. But yeah, there are some girls there who I'm like, yeah, could be, would be, should be. So we'll see. It'll be exciting to see for them if they get an opportunity next season.
Are you left-footed left winger?
Left foot, left winger, yeah. Yeah, and absolutely no right foot. Well, I try, but the ball comes to my right foot, I'm always like, oh, crap, how can I kick this on my left? So, yeah, that's not great for cutting in. And I cut in, and then I'm like, no, go back out. But,
and so, apart from your ego, if someone did get in touch with you from a WSL team, you'd be like, no, I'm sticking with Ternier because I'm enjoying it so much? Or are you like, oh, well, just have to have a conversation about that?
I'm loyal like that, No, actually, it's just more so with our 3-month-old baby at home. Still playing paddle for Ireland at the moment. I've just got too many commitments to take it to the next level. Maybe 5 years ago, could have been on that Irish team. If I had taken up soccer a bit earlier, but all those coulda, woulda, shoulda.
And the other commitment, which I wasn't aware of, is that you committed to play a set of tennis against Colum.
Yeah, I haven't heard much from him. He's gone very quiet on that one now.
What's happening here?
Tennis, paddle.
I'm waiting.
For what?
I show up every Saturday afternoon and Waiting
No
to go.
chance. I said to Jojo on the way in, I was like, he's definitely doing secret practice, and that's why he hasn't been in touch about
No,
it.
I'm ready to go. Didn't we say mid-October? And look at us now.
Here we go.
Paddleless.
You've had an extra 2 weeks of training then.
Oh, it's paddle rather than tennis.
It's paddle, right?
Which you chancing your arm at? Which one?
Paddle's smaller.
No, you can't play.
It's more skillful.
But is it?
No, probably not.
Are you left-handed? Are you left-handed paddle?
I'm right-handed.
All right.
Yeah. I'll play left-handed though if it gives him a bit of a
Paddle
edge.
is doubles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you and me against.
I thought it was going to be me against
This is
you.
That'd be
completely
good.
disintegrated.
I've been told
That
here in
much
the
of
comments it
challenge.
was tennis that we agreed to, and that it was going to be sponsored.
Okay, well we can start with tennis, and then if that doesn't go well, we could try paddle.
All right.
What about football? Would you beat me there?
Happily, yeah. Football would be great.
Soccer
Why
now
don't we
or
do all
fo-
three? Yeah.
Oh God.
Soccer, yeah. It's a bit cold for tennis, though, isn't it?
They do it indoors.
Handies.
You can do it
Because-
indoors.
4 or 5
right
months
across from
now.
your
Oh,
house.
yeah.
Those indoor courts.
Yeah.
By,
The hard courts.
You're a great
Nice.
competitor, Colin.
Where are they?
They're cold.
Beside DCU,
Oh yeah, the National Tennis Centre. Yeah.
Albert
Yeah.
College
Yeah.
Park.
Those are class, those courts inside.
They are
It's
nice.
right on Colin's
yeah.
doorstep. Don't want
There
to
you
give
go.
away his address. or
He
anything.
Right
moved.
there
He
Well,
moved.
let's book one then.
He moved beside it so he could get
So you
secret
get the
practice in.
practice.
Yeah.
I know he's been secret training the last 4 months. That's why he hasn't been on to me.
This is the thing.
I think the last time we had a conversation about paddle, there was a hope that it was going to get into LA as an Olympic sport.
Yeah, nothing has been set in stone with that. I know that we have the European Championships at the end of this month, and then another like more even higher quality European team championship, I think, in January, and they're hoping to get kind of or showcase it in Paris next year. So even just getting to be part of that would be incredible. To be
So
part
that's a
of-
possibility, right?
Yeah. So to kind of play some matches in Paris as if you were in the Olympics.
So you
Yeah,
said the racket and the ball sports are the things. So did you ever think about camogie or hockey or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I played a little bit of hockey when I was in school, but I was too focused on tennis at the time to really dedicate any real time to it. Again, I did love that, and part of the reason I did play it was just to be a part of a team because I was only a teenager, so it was good to have the mix of both
Yeah.
team and individual sport. But tennis had my attention at that time, so
And golf?
played a bit of golf as well. Just my family are big golfers. Like one of my brothers is a plus golfer, and my other brother is a Special Olympic gold medalist in golf. But I don't have the patience for golf. I need things to be fast, quick.
That is not golf.
No, and that is not golf.
And
What?
for those part of the Jenny Claffey fan club, why should I watch the second episode tonight?
The episode tonight, you're going to see us being put up to our a fitness challenge, including a bleep test. So if you want to watch us suffer or me win, tune in.
All right, good stuff, Jenny. Thanks for that. Best of luck with it.
Thanks.
On tomorrow's show, Adrian and Shane are here with Ronan O'Gara live. Our Premier League build-up with Martin Lipton, a League of Ireland chap, a URC preview chat, not chap.
What? Where does it
Speaking,
say
I said.
that? Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the URC, the debut of Cameron's URC Hill, why you should care about the competition, and plenty more besides. Today's the 2nd of November. It's a day of birthdays. For instance, it's a celebration of iconic Australian tennis player Ken Rosewell. Soon to be I'm a Celebrity star Danny Cipriani. Oh, is he doing I'm a Celebrity?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was unavailable to promote his book with us. Rapper Nelly, David Schwimmer, Ross, Marie Antoinette would have been
happy
268
birthday.
years old today. Yeah. And Bayern's Canadian star.
Arrestor, it says on the
Arrestor, do you want to?
No.
RIP.
Bayern's Canadian star Alfonso Davies, who is soon to be Real Madrid's Canadian star. Enjoy yourselves today, says, yeah. All right, best of luck.